There we go. Helps to turn it on. Okay, so let's call this meeting to order. And we're going to start with, Kyle, you were sworn in already before the meeting? Alrighty then, we're going to move to roll call. Oops. Ryan Miller,
Here.
Kyle Maraskin,
Here.
Marianne Atkinson,
Here.
Kenneth Hayes.
Here.
Say that right? Yep. Haynes. Thank you. Christy?
Here.
I'm here, and Mohammed.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stand for the pledge. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We all up. I know, she didn't put her hand over. Bad girl. Okay, so we have, this is for speaker protocols, for public comments, but this is more of a, isn't this for, yeah, it's for a particular item, Valencia, Bailey. So would you want to wait for your actual,
Really, Bailey Quadrant with Hillwood Communities. I just wanted to come up here and introduce myself to the new commission members. And I'm the development manager on the Valencia project, and I'm here to answer any questions if there are any. We're on the regular agenda A. Thank you.
okay, thank you, thank you. Tammy, do we have any other registered comments? So, we're going to move then from public comments, unless anyone in the audience has anything. So we're going to move from public comments right on to the consent agenda. And I assume everybody's had a time to look at the consent agenda. So then we would just need a motion to approve.
I move that we accept the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
All those in favor of the motion on the table, please raise your hand. And the motion passes unanimously. We're going to go to our regular agenda. Consideration and possible action to approve the final plat of Valencia, Section 1, being a subdivision of 9.7 acres out of the land of the HT&B&R Company Abstract, Section 64 AKA. Mary O'Donnell Survey, Abstract 43, Brazoria County, Texas, also being a portion of outlots 175, 180, and 195 of the DRAA Luther subdivision of the town of Manvel and surrounding acreage property. Subdivision recorded in volumes, pages 71, 72, Volume 3, pages 139 to 40 of Brazoria County Plat Records. Miss Jess, can you give us an overview?
Yes, ma'am. This is the Valencia Section 1 final plat. Staff is recommending approval with 3 conditions. Condition number 1 is to revise the place for the Manvel ETJ label within the ETJ area on the vicinity map. Number 2 is that to revise a plat note pertaining to a 25-foot required setback for garages. And then lastly, to provide a recorded copy of any protective covenants whereby the subdivider proposes to regulate the use of land within subdivision, provided, however, the restricted covenants, conditions, or limitations should not be less than the minimum requirements of the city under the terms of this ordinance or any other city ordinances.
So are there any questions? Sure.
Yes, I'm new, so I'm going to have a lot of questions. How long do they have to provide the corrected plat with these conditions on here?
We don't necessarily have a time frame, but to kind of fill you in on the process, if these conditions don't ever get resolved, then the plat's never been deemed approved. So if it's never been approved, then by the time they can't go ahead with construction plans to start constructing, and then it can never get recorded, the plat. So it's in their best interest to resolve the issues. Otherwise, they can't move forward with their project. So we don't have a specific timeline, but they kind of have timelines for themselves on the project, so.
Any other questions, comments? Motions?
I will make a motion to approve with 3 conditions.
I'll second that.
All those in favor of the motion on the table, please raise your hand. And the motion passes unanimously. Consideration and possible action to direct staff to provide applicants written statements of the conditions for any conditional approvals and reasons for disapproval of any plans or plats that were not approved per Texas local code. This is a pretty standard, but for our new folks, I'm sure you've, any questions about this for you to understand what we're doing with this? Anybody? All righty. And I'm just looking for a motion.
I'll give you a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand, and it passes unanimously. C, consideration and possible action to approve and appoint a Planning Development Zoning Commission chairperson.
Want to do all 3?
We could do all 3. Vice chair and secretary, we could put them all together. Correct? Mr. Bobby?
It's just who? Which is discussion right now, so,
Okay.
I mean, the big thing is who wants the chair position? Do you still want it?
I'd be willing to give it to, I think
Ryan?
I think
Ryan?
should.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
I could go with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't
that's chair,
mind.
so who's vice chair? You want
I
that?
think since you nominated Ryan,
I didn't nominate him, you did.
you should go with vice. You be the vice?
I guess. He don't miss many.
Okay? Okay.
Who wants to be secretary?
Don't even go. Let's see, I'm pretty sure Christie would be great at that.
Okay, I'll be a secretary.
Okay. Then we have 1, 2, 3. And a motion? I make a motion for the 3 on the table to be approved.
I second the motion.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. And the motion passes unanimously. We don't have any absences to excuse?
Nope.
So no action is needed, and I just need one more motion.
Dorothy, just to let you know, speaking of absences, I will be in Scotland for the next meeting, so you'll have to save all the legal questions or let these folks do it. So.
I thought you were going to be gone today.
That sounds more like bragging than anything.
You can call me, but there might be some bottles clinking in the background or something. But
I'll be there a week after you.
No plans for that trip.
Me either. Me either. So, okay.
I'll give you a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?